As a family, I'm back. Been on vacation for a couple of days. Relax myself in Old York, chill out. It's not the same though. Old York is not the same. The energy doesn't feel right over there. Just don't feel right. Feels damp, cloudy. Normally it's bubbly, things are moving, but anyway, that's a whole different video. I'm gonna put some short clips here on my man that dropped some stuff on you on the birth rate that's declining all over the world, on the economic situation, on how the Caucasians are getting scared because the less people have on work or less people have on the earth. I can't get it figured out. They're calling, I really can't get it figured out. They don't know what they really want. They're saying they want to decrease the population. And now they're saying that it's not good for the economy if there's less people on the planet. I don't understand what did they really want, for real. Half is saying that they want to decrease the population. Another half is saying, well, the birth rate is declining and we have to do something about it. What do they really want? I don't get it figured out. But anyway, watch these clips, get back to me, leave a comment, like the video, thumbs up. Check it out, folks. Check it out.
Spain has declined at nearly 50% since the 1950s. That's still nothing compared to Thailand. They've seen like, I don't even know what this is, like an 80% decline?
It's low birth rate numbers, and what they say to you, how concerning is it?
How concerning is it?
Well, Elon Musk said the greatest threat to our civilization is not AI, it's not climate change, it is demographic collapse. And we're at the precipice. We're at 1.6 in terms of total fertility. We need to be at 2.1 or above to replace ourselves. And we're not doing that. And it's a crisis.
Is it surprising that people not having no children? Y'all really surprised? Look at the type of environment we gotta deal with, guys. We is living in one large ass open asylum. That's what we live in. We can't afford shit. We can't afford to damn eat this shit. Just close it down the damn dollar stores and have us be eating up out of that. You see a need for consoling. I see people being more responsible. We ain't finna keep birthing y'all slaves. We not finna keep birthing y'all motherfucking goddamn workers and people that y'all gonna poison and kill. We just not finna do that.
Thailand, they've seen like, I don't even know what this is, like an 80% decline. Still, that's not as crazy as South Korea. They have the lowest birth rate in the entire world. Of course, the government is trying to do something about it, but what can you really do? We definitely hear about a lot of those things coming out of Japan, too. And this kind of explains that Japan hasn't had the same decline that Korea has, though. But what's crazy about this is literally all the countries here are experiencing some sort of birth rate decline. Even China, who recently announced they actually have lost population. Afghanistan remained pretty high up until recently. Just in that Algeria had like kind of a comeback, but then it dipped back down. I remember seeing all these graphs when I was a kid that like overpopulation was going to be an insane problem one day. Not that it won't, but they just assumed that birth rates were going to remain the same from like the 1950s. Like we're about to have 50 billion people living on Earth in 2030.
It was going viral of a member of Congress trying to scare everyone about the falling birth rates in America. The problem with this is the only thing that this negatively affects is capitalism and billionaires. It's a positive for everyone else in the entire country. With birth rates falling, that means there's less competition at work, and that means that there's more people that are likely to get hired in high-paying positions than there were before. This man was saying that teachers are already noticing that there's a decrease in students enrolling in public school. That means there's more focus on kids in school, there's less packed classrooms, and teachers can actually do more of their job. Whenever they talk about falling birth rates, the only people that are scared are the billionaires, and I know that maybe down the road, hundreds or thousands of years, it could potentially be an issue, but for the short term and the way people are being treated in America right now, the fact that there's going to be less people, less traffic, less competition for jobs, less kids in school, that's a positive almost across the board for everyone else. So when you see this going viral, don't get worried about it. This is a good thing. Over.
Is the percentage, if you could either guess or if there's percentages out there of how much food affects these negative side effects of mental health, anxiety, depression, things like that. Is food 100% responsible for these thoughts and feelings? Is it 50% responsible? What would you say?
Off the top of my head, the clinical guess would be about 50% because I do think that environment, genetics, psychosocial factors, so many other things play into one's emotional well-being. But I think that by cleaning up a certain amount of how we eat, and that includes my diet, everyone, none of us is perfect. By cleaning up a little bit, I have seen people show significant improvement and really The path to this is understanding it's not a quick fix, it's not an overnight thing. It's really prescription for a lifestyle change. And by doing it that way, it's sustainable. It's not just let's lose 5 pounds before the show, before the event.
Look at the true definition of food from our culture, not from the European culture, but from a indigenous Americas or indigenous African culture. Food is something that yields you energy and vitality. Okay. So food can be a conversation. This is food. I'm getting intellectually stimulated from the conversation. That's food. I'm eating your words. That's why you have something called food for thought. You see that? Food is something that you eat, that you put in your body, and the substance break down into macro and micromolecules, and it'll feed your cells glucose or fructose, and this will give you energy, where you can have vitality, power, and will to live out your everyday life. But then you have something called, bad food, what they say. So real food is something that you can digest, whether it's spiritually, intellectually, or internally, and you get power to live from it. So that's food. Anything that's the opposite of that, we can't call it food. Simply, the sad standard American diet, or what they call SAD, we can't consider this food that we eat here in America as food, because it's not giving us vitality. It's not rebuilding or replacing or rearranging our proteins, or what we call amino acid structures. It's not giving us our phytonutrients, our macronutrients, or our micronutrients. So it's not giving us power will to live. What we eat is actually killing us. It's taking from us. So we can't call that food. We can call it a murder weapon, but we can't call it food. So if we're going to speak about foods to eat, we can talk about that. But the things that we eat right now is biologically engineered weapons to basically kill.
Put him in a vat of water and he finds his way to safety every time.
5.2.
Now, look at this guy. What he's been eating is the equivalent of a North American diet, complete with all the fats and sugars we regularly consume. He doesn't know where to go. His brain has been damaged.
These rats were totally normal, and then they turned into demented animals. They don't remember their learning after even a day. And as the challenge gets harder and harder, they fail more and more, just like a human with Alzheimer's disease.
36.2.
In this lab, the belief now is that Alzheimer's is really diabetes of the brain, linked to insulin levels, which can be affected by too much sugar. Professor Suzanne Delamonte.
Insulin resistance, we now know, can occur in any organ. It can occur in the muscles, that's what diabetes is. It can occur in the liver, that causes fatty liver disease. It can occur in the ovaries, that's polycystic ovary disease. And it can occur in the brain.
Do not fight hard enough to be a parent in their children's lives. Oh, really? Well, you gotta love statements like this. What's everyone up there at the table? Black guys, he ain't with his family. What's this stat? Oh my God, it looks like you're wrong. Who would have thought a simple Google search, down Google, would showcase, right, that you are wrong? I know you don't like us, us black men, but at least make results that aren't Googleable. I said Googleable. Please?
I don't care what anybody says, Black Spider Guy did his big one with this video, and let me tell you why. I know exactly what this feels like. I'm black and Mexican and Filipino. My mom's Filipino, Mexican, my dad's black. My dad fought for me. My dad fought for me for years until he couldn't anymore. And he waited until I turned 18 so he can finally talk to me, reach out to me. But in the process of that, do you understand how much I suffered? Do you know how much I suffered wanting and needing a father? The fact that my mom kept me and deprived me from a man who was trying to love me and take care of me is awful. My mom was an addict. My mom was abusive. My mom was awful. I was in and out of foster care because of her. And she didn't even want me. So the fact that she kept me from a man who was trying to come and get me is crazy. And I'm so sorry if I get emotional because this puts me in a bad mental space because you don't understand what I went through with that woman. You will never understand the fact of some women are so vindictive and so evil, and my mom was one of them. Do I forgive her? Do I care about her from a distance? Of course. So this is not like no slander towards my mom. I'm just speaking my truth. Because this black woman on this podcast wants to come on here and act as if no black man doesn't try, doesn't plead, doesn't go home to that woman every day trying to get at their kids. There's men out here who do that, but y'all don't give them no credit. How about we stop slandering black men and try helping them a little bit more? Another thing, you know what's funny? A lot of women will come on these platforms and talk crap about black men for the 5-6 black pookies and rays they know, but they don't know all the men in this world who are actually trying. And here's another thing. Why don't you women look at the stats on the abuse in black women households? It's higher than any ethnicity, but how come I don't hear that? The Drea situation, how come I don't hear everybody talking about that? Brittany Renner, no woman talks about that. Anytime something happens with a woman, silence. But when it's a man, you guys are the first ones putting your mic up and all that. Relájate. I'm getting tired of it. It's really annoying now. You guys want to paint men in this bad light, like if you guys are so perfect. Let's talk about deadbeat moms now. Let's talk about moms who abuse their kids. Let's talk about moms who don't let dads be there. Do you know how much I suffered because of my mom? Growing up angry, growing up lost, growing up misunderstood, wondering why my father didn't want me because that's what she ingrained in my head. And then when I met my dad, she deprived me from somebody who told me I love you all the time. She deprived me from somebody who told me I'm proud of you. Somebody who calls me beautiful. I've never heard my mom tell me beautiful. I've never even gotten a hug from my mom. Do you know that? The fact that you women can be so sick in the head and keep your kids away from a man who would love them, but you opened your legs up to that man, that's on you. Do you see now why I come on these platforms and I talk about what I talk about? Because I grew up with an evil, vindictive mother. And I see women for what they are. Not all. You specific type of women.
Look, it's that small percentage. Once again, you know.
This the brother here. I do not own the copyrights to the clip. This the brother here.
You have to really understand, bro. We gotta focus on the children. You gotta focus on the children. Like,
if you want to see the whole video, please go here, watch the whole video, because it's like an hour and change long. I don't do that long videos. You can go to YouTube, type this in, you'll see the whole video. But what the sister is saying is true. What the sister is saying is true. I raised 3 boys. 3 boys. Not by myself. I got help. But I raised 3 boys. And all of them do very well. All of them do very, very good. All of them never get in trouble. They all have good careers. They all have their own family. They all did very well. And I'm very proud of them. The mothers wasn't bad. I even knocked the mothers. I would not knock the mothers. No. They weren't bad. But it is what it is. On the deal, folks, subscribe. Thumbs up. Share the video. I'm out of here. Peace out. Lots of love for you guys. Lots of love for you guys. I'm out of here. Good night, folks.